Hello everyone, I just wanted to do a quick unboxing of my brand new spiral mixer which I've bought off the internet from Alibaba. Now I've been doing a bit of research for quite some time on spiral mixers, purely just for the purpose of making pizza dough and bread. And as some of you may have already seen, they're quite expensive here in Australia. For an Italian brand one, you're looking at about $2,500. This particular one here, fully delivered from China to my front door, was 820 Australian dollars, which is actually pretty good price for the machine. So I'll show you. So by the title of this video, you'll see that this one's the ZBX HM-7 7 liter spiral mixer from the Tsingtao Food Equipment Company in China. So just a quick unboxing. Now what I've done is I've already lifted up the little tabs, as you can see, just to make it a little bit easier, just to get it out of the box. So you can see pretty much the way it's packaged. It comes in this nice wood crate for safe shipping. Now from the time I ordered the mixer to today, which is when I've received it, also with the price that I've just quoted you, with how much I've paid for it, that's as of May 2024. So those prices obviously are going to change, but it's just to give you a good idea of what you're looking at to get it shipped. So overall, it wasn't that expensive shipping wise, but obviously it's a big outlay for a mixer just to mix some pizza dough, really. But also, I've removed these from the bottom. The mixer does come pretty secured, so it's bolted down. So I would assume just to minimize any movement, or if it gets tilted sideways or anything, so there's no damage while it's in transit. So we'll open it up in a minute. Now, just when I did order this and I was doing research, I was a little bit skeptical about ordering it because I've never really purchased anything this big from the internet before, or this expensive, and a part of me thought I was going to get scammed. So it was a bit of a gamble, but I did communicate with Victoria on the site link when you go to Alibaba, and I do highly recommend communicating with her if you have any questions, because I was looking at a few models that they offered and she was really good, provided excellent service. So she sent me a spreadsheet with all the different models. She even included ones that she thought that I might be interested in, just in case I made additional inquiries about them. So it was good because I was able to pretty much eliminate other machines that I was looking at. And they've got 10 liter ones, but I don't make that much though, so I don't really need a 10 liter machine. This one here has got a minimum capacity of about 300 grams, all the way up to about 3 kilos, which we'll see once we do a test to see if it does do that much, because you got to factor in that obviously you're going to have some water in that flour. So it being a 7 liter, I'm thinking you wouldn't be able to do much more than 3 kilos really of flour. So I'll open the box up and then we'll go through some of the other details. But to my door, shipping wise, it was 33 days from once I got confirmation that the mixer was ready to be shipped after I made payment. They did say 45 days, which I thought was probably approximately what I thought it might take. I thought maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, 33 days is actually really good. Also, Victoria from the company that makes these mixers was really good. She provided excellent service, kept me up to date with the whole process from the minute it was packaged. She even sent me photos and videos of the machine itself, showing me that it worked, the plug for my country. Now, I live in Australia, Melbourne, Australia. So yeah, 33 days is pretty good from China to Melbourne, having to go through customs and whatever other things they would have to do. So yeah, that's pretty good. So I'll show you. I'll open up the machine now. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because when I was doing some research, with the exception of the video that this particular company offered online, there was just nothing online from anyone that had purchased it, other than maybe just some reviews on their site. And yeah, I didn't really get too much out of that. So I thought, here you go, I'll do a quick review so people can see what it looks like, how it's shipped, and just to get an idea of the product. And what we'll do is we'll do some videos of the machine in operation, mixing some dough, so everybody can get a good idea. And I just want this video to be just helpful for anyone that is considering buying a mixer, or if you're looking at an economical one. Again, $2,500 for your popular brand ones from Europe versus obviously made in China one, which is, nice machine. Still a large outlay, but worth it obviously if you're using it all the time, which is something that I do on a weekly basis. So I'll show you that's inside the box, how it's packaged. So it's got some styrofoam in there, as you can see, just to minimize the movement. And what we'll do is we'll try to get this machine out now, and let's see what it looks like. So just bear with me for a moment. Okay, so here's the machine out of the box, or the crate, and on the floor. I've just put it on top of the lid just to move it around. So there was two different options for this machine. There's a 2-speed one, which also features a reverse function, which is just to pretty much slowly move the bowl in reverse, just to be able to pull the dough out. And they also had the option for the 10-speed, which I was originally going to get the 2-speed one, but when I did see the videos on there, pretty much the 2-speed one is the lowest speed and the high speed, and I was just not sure if that was going to work for me, so I decided to go with a variable speed one. That way I can control at what speed the dough works at when I'm mixing it. So you can see the controls over there, which I'll show you once I'm using it. So it's got the emergency stop, the variable speed dial, and that power on and off. And in there's an instruction manual that I can see in the actual bowl itself. So I'll move the plastic bag and we'll have a quick look inside. So just bear with me for a sec. It's just not easy doing this with one hand. So as you can see, there's the ZBX logo. So it's quite a nice looking machine. And it's not as big as I thought it was going to be, which is good. So it's actually quite a compact machine. So you can leave it on your bench and it won't take up too much space. I do have a KitchenAid mixer, which can only do pretty much just over 1 kilo of dough. So it'll be interesting to see what this one looks like side by side. And just looking at the bowl, yeah, it's just a little bit bigger than the KitchenAid really when you look at the size wise. So I'll put them next to each other. So it's a good comparison if you want to see how much space it's going to take. It does weigh quite a bit. It's 28.5 kilos, just the machine on its own. So you're going to want to either leave it permanently on one of your benches or get like a little trolley stand of some kind where you can just wheel it around or put it back in a cupboard, just depending on what your setup is at home. So you can see it's got the arrow on the bowl, which shows you which direction it spins. So once it is in function, I guess you can see that it's moving, just in case you get your hands there and you don't want to get them caught. And you can see inside there, you can see the hook. So I'll open that up. So when you do open this up, it will auto stop. So it clicks at different heights. Not sure what that is for, but I guess just to stop the actual net itself from coming down. And as you can see, there's the actual manual, the HM7 dough mixer. And yeah, this is the plug for Australia, and Victoria was really good. Just double check to make sure that this is the correct plug for my country. And she really was great. She confirmed everything to make sure that there was no mistakes. That way, at least they're shipping exactly what you asked for. And you can have a look in the bowl. There's the breaker bar for the dough. So it's all stainless steel. And you can see the hook. So I really look forward to using this machine and just seeing how it operates and how it works. I've never owned a spiral machine, so I don't really have anything to compare it to be able to give you a fair assessment compared to others, other than my KitchenAid. And the reason why I did decide to go ahead and spend the money on the spiral mixer is just with the KitchenAid, as good as the machine is, just found it a little bit tricky to get a consistent product every time. Partly, I think, because with the KitchenAid, when the actual machine is in operation, I think a lot of that heat from the motor tends to transfer through into the hook, and it heats up the dough too much. And I think depending on whether it's summer or winter temperatures in your house, I think that heat does affect the dough quite a bit, unless you're really consistently taking in the temperatures, or having to use, obviously, fridge cold water or ice, which I don't like doing. I just like to use room temperature water. So it'd be interesting to see what this particular machine does and whether it heats up the dough too much or not. I like some of the styling as well on the side, which copies one of the famous or popular brands that you see on the internet. And I think that's replicated on both sides. So let's have a look. Yeah, and you can see there's nothing on this side. Just those little sort of stamped out little arrows or whatever they are. The back has some holes for ventilation for the motor, and then you've got, I guess that's part of the CE standard rating, where it has all the specs, the wattage of the motor, which is 750 watt, the model, the capacity for the flour, the voltage for the country I'm in, which is Australia, which is 240 volts. That's another great thing. They do confirm all that with you. And then the weight of the machine, which says 32 kilos. But yeah, I think it's actually, I read that it was 28.5. I could be wrong. But there you go. But all the details are there. And your serial number, which they send all to you when you communicate with them. And you're confirming all that. So yeah, it's a nice little machine. So I hope that this video helps you with some of the information. And look, if you do have any inquiries, yeah, definitely contact Victoria. She's really good. She sent out all that information and answered all my questions. So she made it very easy to make a decision on this particular machine. I was looking at the 10-litre ones, but yeah, and it wasn't that much more expensive. I just didn't think it was worth the outlay, considering I was not going to use that larger quantity of dough, and I really like the fact that this one does have a minimum capacity of 300 grams, so you can do smaller mixes, especially when you're experimenting without having to waste too much flour. So yeah, so if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email or direct message me on YouTube, and I'm happy to answer any questions about the process. Yeah, which certainly would have helped me. But again, Victoria is really good. She provided fantastic service. So far so good. I'm happy with the process of the purchase. I guess the next part is, I guess, the performance of the machine, and I guess the quality and durability, which only time is going to really tell. So I'll see you in the next video when I put it into use. Thank you guys. Bye.